Hail to the chief.
Hail to the new chief. Good luck, everyone.
We're going to war.
Iran first. Oh, politics and war straight in at 1 minute.
Well, not even that. 50 seconds. Hello, Courtney. How are you doing?
Oh, fantastic. Thanks. How are you?
I'm better now knowing Henry Kissinger has stepped in.
Yeah, I was going to say you are Perez de Cuellar. Mr. Brown Spock here is Perez de Cuellar of the Federation, healing the rifts between important channels. And
there is
ones.
too much bad feeling in the world, and trust me, I'm the expert on bad feeling with living with an elderly parent. As I say on my Twitter page at the end, be nice.
Be nice. I read that. I had to read it a few times. Really? I started debating it in my head, and I thought, oh no, you won't want that. Be nice.
That was a recent addition, by the way. Just be nice. There's a lot of really joyless stuff. I'm going to use that word again. Joyless stuff going on in the world, and
we want joy.
Let's just try and be nice, because it produces positive brain chemicals.
Well, this is since we do like to have our 10 minutes of serious stuff. I wonder, because one can, the brain can analyze itself and emotions and all.
Yes,
and you end up thinking, do you know what? There must be a part of me. I can't even believe I'm admitting it to myself, let alone. I'm glad this isn't on a live broadcast or anything. I think there must be a bit of me that's addicted to the excitement of a tear up. I mean, I don't even like to admit the possibility, but it must be the case.
Correct. You're effectively getting your dopamine hit, but probably kind of a negative. Well, I would say it's probably the same dopamine hit, but the ways and means of going around getting it is a different route.
It is, because we did touch upon this once.
Probably an easier route, to be fair.
Yeah, it
is easier to be an absolute twat or an arse.
Yeah, but it's nice to be nice
on every level.
Well, this is what I've noticed. No, I think this is why we're going. I'm glad you've established.
Make love, not war.
Dead serious is because the thing is that's the difference between us and the trolls. Is I like to go out with positivity.
Trolls
first.
Are just getting their hit on just being a nasty twat.
This is it, and I always want to put out positivity first. But if I'm putting out positivity, I must admit I'm not a saint. I'm expecting some positivity back. If I don't get that reciprocal positivity, I'm like, oh, there's a wave of depression coming. A period of silence, and then here comes the negativity.
Anger, as we've said before, anger and depression go hand in hand.
Hand in hand. But after the greyness of depression, anger is slightly better in the for the negative emotion connoisseur. Once you've been lost in the dark grey pit of depression, you might need a bit of black anger, as it were, or red anger, whatever you want to call it, because it's better than that endless dark grey. A red mist, because that endless dark grey rolling cloud of nonsense, you'll do anything to bust that once all the good avenues have gone in that half hour. Cool, this is. I'll have to
as I said to you before, everybody needs a friend who tells them that they're being an arse.
And I've got that friend in you.
As I said, I have a friend who 10 years. He had 10 years my senior, and I kind of met him through the old DJing days in Wolverhampton, and he was very, very much a mentor on every level. He was like
not just beats,
that as well, and lifelong friends, still friends with him now, and he would tell me, he would rein me in if I was being an arse.
Okay.
And everybody needs a special friend. Everybody, not just you and I.
Everybody.
Some of these, I think if some of these anger merchants on Twitter and the like, who are just young, angry, and know it all, because trust me, we were the same. Yeah.
Especially in our younger days.
We just didn't have mobile phones back then.
We were lucky.
We were lucky, yes. So
that's the thing.
I think a lot of these, because as we've said before, they are just giving themselves the dopamine hit of that instant gratification. Instead of being positive and nice, it's just easier to be an absolute fucking arse.
It is, isn't it? I hate to admit it, but
somebody
it's true.
They need to be told that they're being an arse.
Yeah.
And I just think the world...
Like you with me just a few minutes ago off stage.
You were being an arse.
I was. Brown caught me. Brown saw the arse.
Indeed. Listen, all these people are doing it. It's not, as I said before, sit back just for 30 seconds and think how your tweet or whatever is going to be, what's the effect on the other end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not just the other person you're affecting yourself ultimately, because the more you do it, the more you want to do it. And the more you do it, the bigger fucking arse you become.
That's the dangerous spiral. Because
you're going to look back in
10 minutes,
15, 20 years.
Both,
and, through different eyes and just think, what a wanker.
That's a constant game of life. I'll tell you what.
Fucking tool.
That me 15 years ago.
And it doesn't
rolling.
It doesn't achieve anything. It just makes it affects the people on the other end, and it just creates bad feeling all around. And it's for your own well-being. I just don't think it's the correct path to go down.
No, it's not good branding exercise.
Get passionate about stuff, by all means.
I must admit, if I'm watching a live stream,
go on.
If I'm watching a live stream and the name Cockney Spot comes up, I'm like, oh fucking hell, this wanker again. I'm like, I know it's me. That is why I need to evolve it to, Mirror Universe.
I think that's a work in progress, mate. Like all great stories evolve, don't they?
Exactly. I'm going to give myself a big up on the 9 minutes. Give myself a big up because, I couldn't deny it at this stage. I freely admit I'm prone to the swings and arrows of outrageous. Basically, I might get caught. Lack of impulse control, slightly upset. Write something without thinking about it. What a time for the battery to not run out. But the good side, the other side of that is when I've calmed down a couple of minutes later, I'm not a person that bears a grudge. In fact, I'm addicted to the healing. Sometimes I think I'll have a row because I love the making up bit. Oh, make up sex. Oh, it's not always sex, but so I'm not a person. I'm not a person that bears a grudge.
It's been a while.
Unfortunately, it has.
9 minutes.
Personal chat. It's been a lot more than 9 minutes. Anyway, I see what you mean.
Nice.
The clock. That's what she said once.
Nice.
So if when apologies, hugging, positivity, and moving on are sincere and reciprocated, then it's a beautiful thing. Almost makes the rail worthwhile. Now, sometimes in some relationships you just go too far down the exactly. Sometimes you go too far down the track, and even if the war stops, you just have to walk away. We've said too much to be friends now, but there's definitely, whether it's an argument on Twitter or an actual full conflagration on the ground with another nation, you really have to think, why am I having this war? What are the benefits? War is inherently negative.
Again, why were you having that war?
Wow, there you go. Exactly. Stubbornly stating my point, I guess.
Stubborn Spock.
Yeah.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
On 10 minutes. Yep, stubborn Spock gives reasons, knowing they are not justifications or excuses. So part of it is I
You
have
were
had
just
too
being an
much.
ass, is what you were saying.
Well, too much of my life I've been the placid person trying to please everyone and got nowhere. And unfortunately,
You end
although
up pleasing nobody.
yeah, because the nice people might appreciate it, but certainly the sociopaths and the psychopaths that I found take it as a sign of weakness and will basically take the piss out of you more.
For the uninitiated like me, sociopath. Yep. What is a sociopath?
Okay, well, okay, if we could start with binary terms, you've basically got empaths and psychopaths. So you either got empathy or you haven't. And in non-binary terms, there's apparently 4 categories. So the worst one's sociopath.
What would you class me as an empath?
Oh, sorry. Just brown. You're just all over the place.
I'm my own category, brown.
You are, exactly. You're just all 4. No, brown. Now let's see. I've got to get this. I've already got it wrong. So self-correction there. It's psychopath is the worst one. Then it's sociopath.
Yes.
And then I'm not even sure, easily fact check. So, well, I've got 50-50. So I'll say sympath, then empath, all the other way around. But it's degrees of empathy, basically. Although my own personal studies, I'm thinking maybe a sociopath has no empathy, but a psychopath has empathy, but has negative empathy and has Schadenfreude. So they do feel your feelings, but they want you to feel pain. They drink your negativity.
Empathy means experiencing someone else's feelings.
Yes.
It requires an emotional component of really feeling what the other person is feeling.
Yeah, and you can have
like Deanna Troi.
Right, but you can have it via television. So something we touched upon, but specifically, you were shedding tears of nerd joy seeing Luke Skywalker return, where for whatever reason I did not.
Okay.
But when I watched the videos of nerds crying, that's when I freely admit I had a blub. The sight of me fellow nerds like Gary, I was too far. I was cold, or actually, I analysed myself. I'm waiting for Han, Luke, and Leia, 3 of them together, and Chewie.
Never happen.
Oh, I know exactly, but that's what would make me blub. But next best thing is watching you nerds blub made me blub because it was as if
it's just joy. It was joyful, mate, joyful.
Yeah, and it was like the collective consciousness. You could almost feel it around the world.
Oh yeah. It was amazing.
Yes,
it was amazing.
This is what we wanted. It was beautiful.
And it seemed to me that it just happened at the same time because I kind of I managed to catch up on the Mandalorian about 8:30 that evening.
Yeah.
And obviously it'd been available elsewhere.
Right, yeah.
But for some reason it just felt like everybody was watching it at the same time. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Weird.
With the time difference, and it was just a rolling effect, like a wave.
Yeah, like a tsunami of, I like that word, tsunami of joy.
Tsunami.
That's Newcastle.
Exactly, that's it.
Exactly.
Okay, a wave of brown ale.
Sympathy, on the other hand, means understanding someone else's suffering
without feeling it. So maybe that's not as good.
It's more cognitive in nature. What does that mean exactly? More kind of in the head.
Cognition, the mind, logic.
Right, in the head, okay.
I can see that you're bleeding and crying. You seem upset. Come this way and we'll see what we can do. Basically, Spock would be, I guess, a sympath without being an empath.
Okay. It says here, it's more cognitive in nature and keeps a certain distance. Right, okay. So that's like somebody just giving you like here, like putting their arm around you.
Exactly.
Not too kind of, right, I get you.
Oh, you're right onto it with it. I tell you, our icons have never been less ironic. This is totally. This is what Vulcans need to be sympaths. That's the edge you want. You want to care, or you at least.
I've embraced. I should be Cybok, really.
Maybe you're okay. So I'm your Cybok. 2 icons on the way. Realization coming up for 15.
Okay, so what was the other one? We had empathy, sympathy, and
sociopath, psychopath. So
there's compassion as well. There's compassion.
Oh, that's Buddha, isn't it? He's cornered the market there. Oh,
okay. So what we were saying, sociopath.
Yeah, and psychopath. But we'll get back to compassion because I like splitting hairs, especially linguistically. There must be a difference between what you just said and the other 2.
Let me just Google it.
Okay. Other search engines are available.
Who needs to go to school when you've got Mr. Brown?
You've got DuckDuckGo and Mr. Brown. Which reminds me, you've apparently someone's got a Blade Runner question for later, but that's just
I have, yes. It just says sympathetic pity and concern for the sufferings of misfortunes of others.
Okay. See, pity now makes me think of Lord of the Rings because that Gandalf pan, pity, you didn't have any pity. Shame, you didn't feel shame. And remember that bit with Frodo?
Okay.
Or was it Bilbo? Empathy?
Oh, okay. Empathy is a gateway to compassion. Yeah.
Gateway emotion.
Yeah. It's understanding how someone feels and trying to imagine how that might feel for you. It's a mode of relating.
I mean, that does speak to Blade Runner. They literally say, "Is this to be an empathy test?" That is the whole idea of the replicant and the human, and the journey of realization that it's not really a replicant.
Compassion takes it further. It's feeling what the other person is feeling, holding it, accepting it, and taking some kind of action.
Wow. So it's beyond empathy. It's the sweet spot. It's the deep end. It's feeling them.
Are you cutting your nails?
Oh no, I'm just flicking a pen.
God, sounds like you're cutting your nails.
Wow, no, it's an oral Rorschach test.
Are you on your new microphone?
No, that's the funny thing. The old one just seems to be working better. Yes, I am.
There you go. This is the new one.
Yes.
No. It does sound good. Well, which one is it? Old or new?
It sounds good. It's the old one.
Have you used the new one yet?
Nah.
Well, that's a waste of money.
I know. Well, if I never plug it in, it will be. Well, it didn't work immediately first time.
You're on your iPhone, are you not?
Correct. Other brands are available.
Okay. Yeah, if you use your laptop, probably connect it up then.
Well, I specifically got that microphone because I wanted to plug it because it's got a USB-C port, so specifically for use with the phone. Otherwise, I'll use one of the other ones with the USB.
So, getting back to what we were saying, so that we got to sociopath, psychopath. So, what's a sociopath?
So, psychopath is worse. Therefore, sociopath, just simply in non-binary terms, means a bit more empathy. But frankly, I don't know the difference between the two. And I was kind of hoping you'd look them up yourself. Here you go. What you got?
Okay, what's the difference between psycho and socio?
I mean, psychopath is worse. I'm pretty sure about that.
Psychopaths are classified as people with little or no conscience.
Right. Politicians, lawyers, people at Disney.
Father.
Oh, snap.
But I think that's probably of their generation. I don't know.
Yeah, we're still wrestling with that. I mean, they must have. What was courting like back in those days? Oi, do you want to marry me? No. Oh, you better. All right then. Let's get.
Remember, the term gaslighting comes from the 30s and 40s as well.
Oh, it was a specific play, wasn't it? Yeah,
basically, the old gaslighting term was basically the woman would be put in her place by the husband at home constantly. You're here to do, and I'm being constantly gaslit.
Because he was because I've been gaslit.
It's mental abuse.
I've been gaslit about gaslighting. Like you're gaslighting. No, you're gaslighting. Anyway,
hello viewer. I've got a viewer. Hello viewer.
Yes. Who is it, dare I ask?
I don't know yet. So, okay, so back to the main point. Psychopaths are classified as people with little or no conscience. Sociopaths do have a limited... Okay, my dad's sociopath. Sociopaths do have a limited, albeit weak, ability to feel empathy and remorse.
There we go. So yeah, on that scale, they're not quite on the binary end. They're towards trending towards the middle.
Psychopaths can and do follow social conventions when it suits their needs.
Okay, when it suits their needs, so they're pretending. I will now put myself into this work office environment just so I can plan who to stab first.
Hello, Stephen Brady. Hello, sir. Stephen, how you doing, mate? Nice for you to pop in. We're just talking about psychopaths, sociopaths, and basically bad feeling what's going on in the world. So, cheers, mate. Okay, so you've come in right. You've come in right at the deep end, my friend. It's a deep one today. Psychopaths are usually deemed more dangerous than sociopaths because they show no remorse for their actions due to their lack of empathy.
They cannot feel. They will not stop until you are dead.
They do stuff and they just don't give a shit basically about it, do they?
Don't care about
because they're incapable of feeling whatever.
Yep, no feeling, no remorse. No, that reminds me, I do need to call my lawyer. But anyway, yep, no feeling, no remorse, no empathy, and a big bill at the end of the month. Absolutely.
I think we're getting. What's the difference between a sociopath, a psychopath, and a narcissist?
Narcissist.
If I can put my teeth in that is.
Yeah, narcissist. A narcissist, because it was Narcissus who was basically a guy so handsome. It was basically, imagine the critical drinker mixed with drunk 3PO. And he got caught. Well, he caught himself looking at his reflection in the river or the lake, I guess it would be.
Okay.
And went, "My God, that guy is handsome. It's me." And he got stuck there. Greek myths.
Question for Stephen: where are you from today, Stephen? Be nice to know where you're listening from.
If he's from Stevenage, I'll be impressed.
Stephen from Stevenage,
a town named after you. And now Peter from Peterborough.
So. The question, what's the difference between a sociopath, psychopath, and a narcissist?
About $300 an hour.
Yeah. A sociopath is more calculating and might premeditate aggression in advance. Okay. A narcissist, Stephen, is from East London.
All of it. Lovely.
Lovely. We've got
near the Bow Bells. He's more genuine Cockney than I am. He's going to take me out in 5 minutes. That's not Cockney. You're bloody Hertfordshire. You're Hertfordshire, Spot. Get out of it.
Okay, so a narcissist is more likely to react sooner with lies and intimidation.
Yes. Yep. Can also play the victim.
Stephen's from Newham. Okay.
All of it.
Yes. Narcissists often work hard to achieve success, fame, and perfection.
Yep.
Is that Trump then? Is that Trump? Or does he just do it on other people's hard work?
I'm thinking of a couple of ladies that I've known, but I still can't talk about it for legal reasons. But they're basically, interesting because it's the self-love can have some self-loathing behind it. Because all that the big I am, given the right mixture of tequila and whatever else, and they'll be blubbing like a baby. Oh, I'm nothing. I'm a no one. But it's just buried so deep because otherwise we wouldn't need all the basically millions of people if you're at the exalted position of President of the United States telling them how great they are. So, yes, basically. So, the confidence comes from lack of confidence. It's a yin-yang thing, I think. Opposites meet in the middle.
Just looking... Is the Joker, we'll try and round off, the Joker a psychopath or a sociopath?
Oh, fictional characters, analytics.
So we'll just do it to what probably Stephen and myself can relate to, if Stephen's seen the Joker.
I'd say Joker, psychopath.
Yeah, it says here, the Joker is clearly a psychopath.
Yeah, he's got to be. He's the extreme, isn't he? He is the Joker.
He has no conscience. He has no empathy for anybody.
Correct.
Oh, God, my old man's. Just bear with me.
Nice segue. Live on air.
Yeah, just bear with me, guys. Be back in a second.
Oh, it's all right. I've got this. Right, at last, back on. Okay, so to recap, psychopath bad, sociopath bad, empath good, sympath good, narcissistic, not so good, unless they're really attractive, in which case you can cover up their mental and emotional faults, just look into their beautiful eyes. But actually, don't do that. I don't recommend it. But it really does segue so nicely into pop culture and Blade Runner, because that's the whole thing. They need to have this long-winded, hour-long test, peppered with questions, zooming in on the eyeballs, just to see if they feel empathy. Here he comes.
I'm back. I'm back.
Speaking of empathy,
right.
Here he is.
Okay. That was a little bit of real life getting in the way. Basically, my brother, who's just had COVID, needs to go get his COVID jab. Can you believe it?
He's got to have his COVID jab now. Is it something?
Apparently he's been cleared or something, but I've got to take him to get his jab.
I thought the one good thing about having what now?
Well, no, 2 o'clock in about an hour's time. I just don't get it. I'll find out what's going on afterwards. But
so many questions. I thought the whole point of having COVID is you don't need a jab because you've had the COVID.
That's what I need to find out in a minute. But
he's immune. He's going to have the side effects for nothing.
No, I don't know, but the thing is, he's got the big C. So
okay, there's one of. See, I don't know enough about both, or let alone either, to know if they how they work with each other. Mind you, not
well, he's
health professionals, do they?
My brother's terminal, and how the fuck the COVID didn't finish him off, I do not know.
There should be several doctors prodding at him right now.
Fuck knows. He's still with us. God knows. He must be strong as a fucking ox.
All I know is, speaking of psychopaths, is the risk of generalising. Well, if I'm going to generalise about any group,
sorry, Stephen, real life groups.
This is real life, but in my experience, it's basically your doctors and your priests and your lawyers, the ones at the highest strata of society that you've got to second guess all the time because they're basically arrogant because they get all the acceptance that comes with that high strata position, and basically, but like the American concept of getting a second opinion took a while for me for that to sink in. But now it's like, yeah, well, of course, because like if a doctor, like a judge or anyone else, gives an opinion, that's just their opinion. And you know they're not lying, or you know they think they're telling the truth, but they're actually wrong. So don't be afraid of getting a second opinion, especially when it's the life of you or a family member.
Well, no, I just feel like am I being put at risk by having to take him to the place in Tad.
Well, you are by definition. You're going to be in an enclosed. Yeah, don't do it. Put him on the bus. Oh, you're going to sacrifice yourself. Oh God, this isn't an abstract, is it? I'm afraid of what to say.
All right, I'll deal with it once we finish this.
That's a tough one. How about just give him the car keys? Let your dad do it.
God, yeah, 92.
Yeah, maybe not. Is that a
that's a man who he doesn't even understand why I can't get another job because effectively I'm having to stay at home to protect him.
There's kind of an irony there. That's not even psychopath.
So
sociopath. That's just not thinking it through.
I am not earning any money because I've lost my job to protect a pensioner who's 92, who's had his life. But his pensions, everything that he gets was more money than I was earning. And I'm on income support.
Mind you, you're a designer, so we're not known for getting big pay packets.
I've not earned any money since August.
Okay.
And I can't get another job because
you're looking after him.
Because I'm looking after him. I've got to protect him. And if I did get a job, it'd have to be from home. And everything's just fucked on. Everything's just fucked on every level. Everything is just fucked on every level. And getting back to the COVID stuff, it's like, you see, all the older people who are 70, 80, 90, they're getting their jabs first. Right. Shouldn't it be the younger people getting their jabs first? The people who have to go out and keep the economy moving? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, it's Sophie's choice. I mean, I wouldn't want to make that decision, but on a practical note, yes, you're right.
So I'm having to stay. I've effectively got 20 years of my working career left, 15, but it'll probably get moved up. But I've got to stay at home and affect my future and not earn any money to protect a man who's, admittedly, he's my father, who's 92, who's had his life. Come on, spade's a spade. And it's not me being awful. Spade's a spade. He's had his life.
You're just being frank.
And there's going to be a lot of other people in the same position as me. I'm going to be a real fucking arse here. It just seems to me that all this is to protect a lot of people who, well, I'll flip it round. I feel sorry for the young people, because the young people are going to have to pick up the fucking tab for all of this.
Literally and metaphorically, just on all levels, basically.
Yeah.
It's the government are writing checks that the next generation are going to have to cash.
And it's them I feel sorry for, to pay for we're getting back to that generation again who have had everything.
Yeah, no, they've
had everything too. They've had everything. They're ungrateful, and now they want the vaccine too. How the fuck does that work?
On the 30. Wow, that's good, because they're used to having everything, and they're going to keep having everything. They don't know they're born.
And the rest of us have to suffer.
Exactly. They're quite happy, not fighting in any world wars, just taking their dope and their LSD, knobbing each other without condoms, and then all we had was nuclear war and AIDS, and then we're lucky compared to this lot.
And I can see why the younger generation are angry.
Yeah, they've got the right ump. I got the right ump with the previous generation, so I don't blame the next generation. Yeah. Maybe that's why they're getting so messed up with their weird other politics and their blue hair, because they got legitimate gripes.
Okay.
Who knows?
We're going to have to finish it there, because I need to figure out what I'm doing with this hospital trip then. So,
excellent.
Stephen in the chat.
Not even the Blade Runner question. One Blade come for Stephen. Just a Blade Runner question. Come on. One bit of pop culture to wrap it up.
Is the nice? I'm going to put this in the. Can you see this? Watch. Beautiful.
Oh, let's rotate it, because in the needs of it. Oh,
it's very nice. Star Trek.
The needs of the few outweigh the needs of the anti-Spock. The needs of the few. Very good. Pithy and sadly correct. Sadly true.
And it gets better. I've never seen it. You should watch Star Trek 2, mate. It's a great film. Even if you've never watched Star Trek, you will just totally get what's going on.
Reckon.
Yeah, great film.
All right, East London on the map. So no time for the Blade Runner question, you big C's.
Right, we've got 3 minutes. The question. He's not seen Blade Runner. You should do, Stephen. I checked it out again recently, very recently, and I didn't get it when I was young, because it's just, what the fuck's this? But I watched it yesterday, and yeah, it's good. I totally get it now. It's good.
Yes.
Yeah. Question: if replicants die after 4 years, don't they?
Yes, except Rachel
and Deckard, obviously.
Wow, this is. Do you know what? I think someone else came up with a question yesterday.
That was the question. You know the question, don't you? Deckard. Why is he still alive? 25 years later, 30 years later.
If they don't have the artificially put in lifespan, do they age or do they last forever?
Is he an advanced model?
Well, as far as I know, he's still Nexus. He would be Nexus 6, because, for example, the new character K, he's Nexus 7.3, something like that. So
Roy Batty was Nexus 6, wasn't he? And he died.
Was 6, because I guess no one specifically said Rick Deckard is a Blade Runner, is a replicant. Because
if he's a replicant, he should have died.
But they don't mention if he's got because they don't explicitly say that he's a replicant, because obviously that's why we've been having all these debates
going by the logic of the first film, or 4 years.
Yeah, because
up to the model Nexus 6, you die at 4.
Well, Mega Geek was
got a minute.
Out, right. Okay. Well, basically, Rachel. Mega Geek was pointing out that he likes the second version with the voiceover, which a lot of people don't like, and I'm with him, because that's my least favorite version, but it's still essential viewing, because you need the voiceover to understand it better, and then you don't need it after you've heard it. And he basically says Gaff had been there, let her live 4 years. He figured he was wrong. I mean, he's guessing Gaff's motivations here.
Right.
Tyrell had told me Rachel was special, no termination date. And it doesn't remind me of a nice little cartoon, because at the end it goes with the voiceover. I don't know how long we'd have together. Who does? This is a cartoon where the credits roll, and then 2 minutes later her head falls off. But then someone must have seen that, because spoiler alert, in Blade Runner 2049, it turns out that, yeah, she died about 2 weeks after the last film ended, where Ford, still being a replicant, or not, according to Villeneuve, he deliberately left it open. Anyway, he's aged. They didn't de-age him. I mean, it would have taken time and money, but they could have. So,
oh yeah, they've aged him as well, didn't they? Yeah.
Well, he aged himself naturally. They just,
Well, yeah, of course.
They waited 37 years for the sequel. Very clever how they did that.
It was.
But that does fall under Denis Villeneuve's claim, which I refound on the internet today, so I can reconfirm that he made a point of not addressing the issue. Blade Runner 2049 neither confirms nor denies whether Deckard is a replicant.
Well, going by the logic of the first one, then,
yes,
he should have been dead.
Because you are assuming that he would have been given the 4-year time limit, right? But if Rachel didn't, then
so it must be didn't. It must be an advanced model
or a human. Oh, we're back to square one. Right, that's it. You go to hospital. Back tomorrow for another discussion. Is he really a
yes, Stephen? If you are locked down at home, we try to get on at about midday every day. So please, just come on. Please. We just come on, talk about whatever. So
please come back.
I think we've got Commander Culture on tomorrow. He's been gagging for tomorrow, so it should be a full house tomorrow. Stephen, thank you for popping in. Please tell your friends about us.
Cheers, mate.
We're only as good as the people in the chat, so cheers, my friend. We will both catch you tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Take care.
Excellent. Cheers.
Cheers, Stephen. Bye-bye.
Bye.